forward to finding bipartisan common ground on any issue with our Republican colleagues, whenever and wherever possible, in order to make life better for the American people. That's our view as to how we should continue to proceed, putting people over politics and fighting for the things that matter, like lower costs, growing the middle class, and safer communities. President Putin is a brutal, savage, killer, and dictator. He is no friend of the United States of America. He is an enemy to the people of the United States of America. And it is disturbing that there are some who seem to have adopted a pro-Putin way of thinking. But I remain convinced that there are bipartisan majorities, people of goodwill, Democrats and Republicans in the House, just like we saw what occurred in the United States Senate, who are willing to come together in America's national security interests to support the people of Ukraine, support our other democratic ally Israel in its fight against Hamas, support our allies in the Indo-Pacific in the effort to be a check on the Chinese Communist Party, and will support humanitarian assistance to Palestinian civilians and others who are in harm's way through no fault of their own. President Biden, Vice President Harris, and Democrats have done a lot in a short period of time. The black unemployment rate is the lowest that it's ever been. The creation of black small businesses is amongst the highest that it has ever been. Historic investments in historically black colleges and universities in excess of $5 billion to make sure that all of our young people have the opportunity to get a first-rate education and pursue the American dream. Black home ownership under the leadership of President Biden and Vice President Harris is on the rise. But we recognize, of course, that there is still more that needs to be done. But the factual reality is that black America is better off today than it had been prior to Joe Biden taking office, and it's going to be incumbent on all of us to make sure that we carry that message. And at the same time, talk about what the next 4 years will look like. President Biden has a vision for continuing to build upon the progress that has been made and finish the job. Finish the job by making sure that everyone has access to the great American dream, here in Columbus, in the Tri-Cities, and all across the country. Work hard, play by the rules, and in America, you should be able to provide a comfortable living for your family, educate your children, purchase a home, one day retire with grace and with dignity. President Biden is not going to rest until that American dream becomes a reality for every single person in this great country, regardless of race. We have a broken immigration system. We have a serious situation at the border that needs to be addressed. There was legislation negotiated in the Senate that had support from Democrats and Republicans, and unfortunately, my Republican colleagues decided to detonate it. In other words, because they were directed by the former president not to come together to legislatively address the challenges at the border, they stopped the progress from being made to play political games because some think it will be to their advantage not to solve the problem at the border in November. That's exactly the opposite of what should be happening in the United States of America. That's putting politics over people. We're going to continue to put people over politics and do all that we can to fix our broken immigration system and address the challenges at the border. Values that are important to the people of Brooklyn, New York, equally important to the people of Columbus, Georgia. The value of hard work, the value of family, the value of faith, and the value of these great American principles like liberty and justice for all, equal protection under the law, free and fair elections, and government of the people, by the people, and for the people. That's what we share in common between Brooklyn and the Tri-Cities, the people of Columbus. That's what binds the American people together. That's why I'm confident that even though we are in this turbulent moment, that in America, the best is yet to come.